doing this live with you, so you guys I learn along with you guys. But the little ripples on the funnel. There's the other one. What do you think? Praying mantis? I keep hearing it called praying mantis. Can-Am engineers call it a cobra. That's why they're selling t-shirts at the booth. It says King Cobra on it. I like cobra. So we are getting ready for another glamorous trip. We're leaving day after tomorrow, and we got a couple miles on this car. I've been doing some maintenance on it. Showed you a little bit of that. As promised, tonight we're going to get into the oil change. So as you know, this car is a little bit different than the X3, entirely new motor design. It still has two oil drain plugs, but one is way up here and one is way back here. Up there, back there, instead of having the two next to each other. Oil filter, similar setup right there. However, it is a different part number. The new part number is ending in 747 right there. It's a lot longer filter. So in the process of getting ready for this oil change, I think I've come up with a couple little tricks. Let me show you what's going on underneath this motor. So we have a drain plug right there and a drain plug right there. That's what they look like. If you can see that. Yellow one right there. So instead of one being a 17, one being 10, they're both 17 millimeters. Got these nice oval holes here, but I don't know how your luck is, but when I pull that out, I just know that oil is going to get on here, and it's going to get on top of the pan here and get all over the place, kind of like on the X3. So I come up with a plan to hopefully avoid that. In the past, I would have just cut this out bigger, but this car has a cross member right here, and the oil is just about going to hit that cross member. So I happen to have a funnel that thing's going to work out really cool here. By the way, kind of notice this. Got this kind of weird. Car came like that. I didn't do that. Must be for a reason. So let me show you what I got going on with the funnel. Stand by. So I have these funnels, and they're kind of rubbery like. And I want you to notice something. That shape look familiar? Yeah. Looks a lot like that one, huh? So what I kind of discovered, if I stick this up in here, it fits nice and snug, and it goes deep enough that it will go right up against the motor. And I'm going to try to show you this. We'll see how good that goes. Can you see how that goes right around the drain plug? Hopefully you kind of see that. It might pucker a little bit, but I can just adjust it with my finger. And I think what I'm going to have going on is pull the drain plug, and now it will at least drop into the funnel. In worst case scenario, it'll drip off these edges. Let me show you what it looks like with two funnels in there. So I have two of these funnels. I will show you where I got them. I got them on Amazon, but I'll flash up a link right here, or at least a picture of it. And I push this in, and it goes right up against the bottom of the motor. And I'm hoping that's going to avoid any leakage getting on top of the skid pan and going all over the place. So we're going to warm this motor up. I'm going to pull these out, warm the motor up a little bit, and then I'll show you me pulling these drain plugs, and we'll see if my theory holds true. Okay, ran the motor for a few minutes. Owner's manual actually says run it for 2 minutes before you change the oil. I ran until at least I got the first bar showing on the temperature gauge. So 331 miles on this brand new motor, brand new car. I want to show you what the oil looks like. And this is why I like to change it right away on a new car. So, it doesn't look bad, but you know, it's not brand new either. You can see it's kind of dark in there. Yeah, oil's a little dark, so let's change it. It's broken in a little bit, so let's see how she does. I'm just going to let this rest back in here for now, not screw it in. Let's get our funnels in there and start to drain it. Okay. And one. Make sure it's lined up with the oval nice. Pushed up in there. I'll show you again what it looks like before I pull that plug out. Here's the other one. Looks pretty good in there. Let me see if I can show you what that looks like in there. There's one. I will make sure that the drain plug is free and clear of the little ripples on the funnel. There's the other one. Oh yeah. This one's got a little extra bulge in it because of the cross member on the frame. That one looks really good. So I got me a nice wide drain pan. Sorry about that. Nice wide drain pan that goes past both of these. Now it's time to go for rook. Take a look at that magnet here in a second. Interesting looking drain plug, by the way. Oh, look at that. See how it's coming around the sides there? I was kind of afraid of that. I still made a mess. Oh, yeah. Never claimed to be good at this. Doing this for the first time on camera. So, learn from my mistakes. Let me show you this drain plug. The front and rear drain plugs are different. See this one? It's got a magnet. Also has this extra O-ring on here. If you can see that. That is the front one. The rear one looks normal. A little bit of debris. Not much. No chunks. Just dig the washer out of the pan here in a second. But for the most part, the idea worked. I just didn't plan ahead far enough for the oil slinging off these edges. If I don't have oil on top of this can pan, I will call this a success. So we'll let this drain a little bit, I'll clean up, and I'll let you know if we got oil on top of the drain pan. Okay, so it's still draining. I haven't quite cleaned up all my mess, but notice it's still going right here. Before I put the drain plugs back in, I want to pop the top off the oil filter. So in case there's any suction, you need more oil may come out the bottom. Doing this live with you, you know, so you guys I learn along with you guys. But I think what I'll do in the future on that funnel is I'll keep the oval part, but cut off the funnel part because that seems to be what caused it to sling out to the sides. So just do the oval part, drop straight down. Did I accomplish my task of keeping the oil off the top of the skid pan? Well, I'll let you be the judge. You can see that. Sorry, can't always get the camera just right, but dry as a bone on top of the skid pan. Same right here. If you can see that, that is just sand and mud gathered from before. Obviously, there's no fresh oil there. So I'm going to pop these off and release the suction, see if any more comes out, and then we can start buttoning it up and fill it back up with oil after I put the new filter in. Okay, number 8, socket. Should go pretty quick. A little bit dirty. Oh, see that? Started coming out. Release that suction. Get more oil out of there. Let's see if we can take a look at what the oil filter looks like. Tell you what, I use this pry tool more than probably my screwdrivers or my pliers or my ratchets and sockets combined. Look at there. A lot more suction, a lot more oil coming out. One thing I noticed, it's not paper. It's longer than the Can-Am X3 filter. Number ending is 747. Let's see if I got the right one from Can-Am. Number ending in 747. So, good deal. All right, I'll get the new filter put in there. Well, let me show you what the new filter looks like. Here it is. See, it's more of a metal mesh with a white filter element. Don't really have that on the X3s. This is the exact one. It was readily available at my local dealership, Clausen Honda or Clausen Motorsports in Fresno. They had it, no problem. I think it cross-references with one of the Striker 3-wheel cars or whatnot. So that will go in there. In fact, I'll do it right now. Get it the seat. And I'll get this button back up and I'll show you another trick I have for the oil. Okay, I got the cap back on for the oil filter. As I showed it to you, it didn't appear to be directional, had no notches in it, so you can put it in any of those 3 positions. It doesn't really matter. Still no oil on top of the skid pan, which I really like. I think with my modification I talked about with cutting off this filter part right here so the oil can't run off, I think that's going to solve my splashing issue. Maybe even a bigger oil pan. This one's kind of skinny. Let me finish cleaning up here. I'll get the plugs put back in, and then I'll show you another idea or trick that I'm doing with the oil. Okay, she's all buttoned up, cleaned up my mess. Live and learn. But my skid pan is clean. There's no oil. Even if you got oil on there, you wipe it off, it takes forever to get it all off. I'm very happy about that outcome. I'll have to modify the funnel or get a bigger drain pan or something to remedy this whole stuff hitting the floor, but it's not in the car. I like that. As you saw, when I pulled that cap off, more oil came out. When I popped the oil filter out and released that suction, even more oil came out. So keep that thing draining while you change the oil filter. All right. So this car is easier to get to the oil fill, right? Yeah, it is. The last, X3, I ran a long oil funnel. This one right here, matter of fact, I would drop it down through the bed. It'd go right into the oil filler, and actually it wasn't too bad. I mean, it dropped right in there, worked really well, and just, worked great. Now I got my oil filler right here, easily accessible. The trouble is, if I put a funnel right here, then it's way up here. If I try to use my metal oil funnel, then it's up in here somewhere. So it's actually, I think, going to be quite awkward. So I might have a solution for that. This is the oil I'm using. I bounce back and forth between 1540 and 540. I kind of like the 1540. I just feel like a little more protection. You guys can debate about that. But this is the jug I'm going to fill it up with. That's not what's in the jug. What I did is I marked 3 quarts. What does it hold? 2.96 quarts. So I'm going with 3. I poured this into this empty jug until I got to the 3-quart level. Why am I using this jug? Well, it has a certain size cap on it. And that cap right there fits this. What is this? Yeah, this is one of those DEF funnels that pisses everybody off, including me. But I think I can use that to put the oil in. We're going to see how that works. Hopefully I get enough air coming in through here and let the oil come out. Let's see how it goes. Okay, well, we're going to learn together. Just like when I drained the oil, we're going to learn together to see how this goes. Sorry, that's about the best camera angle I can get. Hopefully you can kind of see. If it starts to go wrong, you will know because you'll hear some cussing going on. So, extend my funnel, stick it in the hole, and I'm going to start draining it, pouring it in. She's going in. So far she ain't leaking right here. I'm going to pour almost all of it in there. Remember, this is a complete oil drain, including the filter. So I'm going to get it down to about 2.5 quarts, leaving a half a quart in here. I'll run the motor for a few seconds, and then I'll pour in the other half a quart. But wow, it's working. Nothing is draining out. It's gurgling like it should. The bottle's not collapsing. Wow, I'm impressed. I'm impressed. You guys might like this trick. Save those old funnels from your DEF fluid. Hear that? Oh yeah, that's a good sound. That's a real good sound. We're almost there. We'll speed it up a little bit. Okay, we got about 2.5 quarts in there. I'm going to put the dipstick back in, and we'll fire it up for a few minutes. And then we'll put in the other half a quart. Really liking that DEF funnel. Man, I'm surprised. It actually worked. Okay, so I don't know about you, but when I start the motor after a fresh oil change, I hate that rattling sound until it builds up oil pressure. I hate that. So here's how we get away from it. Ignition's on. Put your foot to the floor. Foot to the floor. And then we're going to start and watch what this says right here. Drown mode. Doing this for about, it times out. Drown mode is a carryover from the ski-doos and whatnot. You get water in the motor. That's how you can pump the water out without firing up the engine. So it'll time out automatically. Foot back on the throttle. I'm going to do this 2 times. Okay, timed out again. This time, foot off the throttle. We're going to fire it up. Let's see what it sounds like. If you hear any rattles. Nice. I like that. No rattle. Check for oil leaks. Of course, I don't expect any. We're going to let it run for about a good minute. I'll double check the level, but more likely we are going to have to put that other half in there, half a quart. Okay, car ran for about 3 minutes or so. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to check the oil level. Remember, we only put about 2.5 quarts in there. Take it out, nice and clean. Wipe it off. We want to wait about 30 seconds to a minute after you shut it down to get a proper oil level. And since it's been off, we've been about 30 to 45 seconds. So let's check it. We're going to screw it in. Unscrew it. Check our level. Level says we are below the fill mark. So here's the minimum, and then here's the max up here. Remember, that's basically a cold motor too. Little quiz for you. How much oil does it take to go between minimum and max? I think the only value says 20 ounces. So anyway, we're gonna put the rest of the oil in there, and then we'll do this again. We'll start it. Okay, I put the last of my 3 quarts in there. I started the motor, ran it for another couple minutes, and then killed the motor. It's now been about 45 seconds since I killed the motor. We're going to check the level. Wipe it off. Make sure you don't leave any napkin debris on the dipstick when you put it back in. Let's see what the level says. Okay, I don't know if you can see that. We're at the minimum right here. I am going to leave it at the minimum for now. It calls for 2.96 quarts. I know I put 3 quarts in there. The motor is relatively cold. The Can-Am motors are kind of known for hiding oil. I've been through that one for sure. So we're at least at the minimum right now on basically a cold motor. When the motor's hot, we'll check it again. Probably expand a little more. I'd rather be a little underfill than a little overfill. Okay, so there's my first oil change on my Can-Am Maverick R 2024 model. It's a different engine configuration than the X3. There are some differences like we talked about with the 2 oil drain plugs. We tried a couple of things here and they work pretty good. The funnels, again, I'll flash up the Amazon link on these. They work pretty good. I think I will cut it off right here. Maybe not the whole thing, maybe down to here, so it doesn't spread out so much. This attempt on trying to make it nicer, I give it a 10 in regards to not getting any oil on top of the drain pan. Overall function, I'll give it between a 7 and 8 because I got oil over the floor, but that was my fault. Def funnel on the oil. If you got a jug, doesn't have to be an oil jug as long as it's clean or whatever, and your def funnel will fit on that jug. I highly recommend this. Wow, I am pretty surprised. That worked really, really well. tight space like that. A little awkward. Jug fit no problem. Worked out really good. So, leaving a couple days for Glamis. Hopefully we'll see you guys out there. You see us, stop us, say hi, whatever. And so please subscribe, please share, and please comment. I've been getting lots of comments on my videos, and I really appreciate that. I will respond as soon as I possibly can. I've been pretty good with that too. So you guys got any other ideas how to make this oil change go better? Please let me know. There we are.